everyone, welcome back to Cottoverdi. My name's Annette and today I've got a couple of things that I want to cover in the vlog. So the first thing is that I've had another super exciting dahlia delivery. So I'm going to go through the varieties that are in this. A lot of them, most of them I would say, are new to me. So I'll go through those, I'll put a picture and the name up on the screen so you can see what they look like. And then I'm going to be sowing some seeds. And I also have, which I'll show at the end of the video, one of the most exciting seed germinating things that's ever happened to me, and I am absolutely delighted and I can't wait to tell you all what it is. So as I said, firstly I'm going to go through the different dahlias that I've got in this particular order. I'm not going to show you the order, it's just a box of tubers, and I'll show you how I pot those up in a future video, but I'm not potting them up yet. I'm going to wait a week or two until I do that. So these are just going to sit in their box in the garage where it's nice and cool, just waiting for me to get started. So the first one is called Firepot, and it is this gorgeous hot blend of rose, pink and orange with yellow at the center, and apparently it's very floriferous, and it's going to grow to 90 centimeters and the flower size is 15 centimeters. The next one is called Karma Prospero. I've heard wonderful things about Karma Prospero. It's another decorative dahlia and it's this lovely soft pink on very sturdy erect stems. It's going to grow to 110 centimeters, that's about 43 inches, and the flower size is between 10 and 15 centimeters. The next one is called Nicholas. It's a lovely peachy bronze colour. I kind of ordered it because one of my brother-in-laws is called Nicholas, and so I just thought it would be fun. It's a decorative dahlia that's going to grow to 90 centimetres tall, and the flower size is 15 centimetres. That's about 6 inches. The next one is called Otto's Thrill. Now many years ago I did have an Otto's Thrill, but I've subsequently lost it. I can't remember how or when. So Otto's Thrill has won the RHS Award of Garden Merit. It's a lovely soft pink colour. It's a huge dinner plate dahlia. The flowers grow to 23 centimetres and it's about 1.1 metres tall. The next one's called Phyllis Farmer. I've never had this one before. It grows to 1.2 metres tall and it's a water lily dahlia. It's a lovely romantic pink with a soft creamy yellow that kind of gives it this peachy glow. The next one is called Pink Perception. I used to have 3 Pink Perceptions and I lost them all in a hard frost one year when I lost a massive proportion of my dahlias. So I'm really happy to have Pink Perception back. It's another water lily dahlia. It grows to 1 metre tall and the flowers are about 10 centimetres and they are this lovely cool pink colour rather than a warm pink colour. So it's quite bright and the flowers face upwards, like directly upwards rather than sideways or bend a bit. They're fully upright, and from memory I think they sort of have one flower at the top and then another one on a little branch further down, so it's kind of got a slightly different growth habit. I really liked it. I think it was on dark stems from memory, can't quite remember that. The next one is called Shiloh Noel, and this is a gorgeous blousy lavender coloured dahlia and the petals fade to white at the edges. I think it grows to 1.1 metres tall. That's about 43 inches and it's a giant dahlia, so it's one of the dinner plate-ish dahlias. On my form it doesn't say that it's a dinner plate dahlia, it says it's a decorative dahlia, but I would describe it as a dinner plate dahlia because the flowers are like 23 centimetres across. And then the last one is called Takeoff, and I used to have Takeoff as well and I lost all my Takeoff. I think I lost my Takeoff to disease actually rather than the frost. I ended up having to bin them all one year. Takeoff is this gorgeous anemone flowered dahlia that's got these pink outer edges and a creamy fluffy yellow middle, and I really love it. So those are all the dahlias in this particular delivery. I do have 2 more large dahlia deliveries coming, so stay tuned and subscribe if you want to see what those are, and obviously I'll be filming all my dahlias throughout the growing season. Now I'm going to get on to the sowing that I'm doing today. One of the seeds I'm sowing I am re-sowing because absolutely none of the originals germinated, and that is a phlox called Blushing Bride. It's an annual phlox and I really love this particular phlox, and I have no idea why none of them germinated. All my other phlox have germinated. I've had really good success on them and they were all given the same treatment. These seeds are only from 2023, so they should have germinated, I'm going to try them again. I just kind of don't want to be without Blushing Bride this year, so I'm going to re-sow those. I'm not going to go over how I'm going to sow them, but I'm just going to let you know that I am re-sowing seeds, and you know, we all have problems like this. It does happen that some things don't germinate, and sometimes we just can't figure out why not. So I don't think it's too late for me to sow these again, and I'll still get flowers this year. Then I've got something new that I am going to be sowing this year. It's called a Foxtail Barley, or if you want the botanical name, it's called Hordeum jubatum. I think it's also called a squirrel-tail barley. Anyway, this is a grass that's an annual. So this grass will grow to between 50 and 60 centimeters tall. I've seen various differing descriptions. Foxtail barley has these silky, golden, grayish panicles that have a red tinge at the edge, and they're really architectural. They're very sort of see-through and wafty and create movement in the border. And obviously, you know, if we leave the grasses and don't pick them, then there'll be lovely movement and colour through the winter months as well. Foxtail barley can take pretty much any soil, so it will grow in like a gravel garden or in heavy clay soil like mine. It can be sown between March and May. I'm sowing mine in March. We can also winter sow it if we want to. The seeds will need light to germinate and about 20 degrees, so I will put mine on a heat mat. And I'm going to sow mine into 6 cell trays, and I'm going to sow a few into each cell with the intention that I won't thin them out, because we're supposed to take that clump and then plant the clump like that to form a bushy plant. Next, I'm going to be sowing some Echinacea or coneflowers, and I've really whittled down my choice this year, and I'm only sowing 2 varieties because the purpurea apparently is the only one that doesn't need cold stratification in order to germinate. So I'm sowing 2 purpureas. I'm sowing the ordinary purple purpurea, Echinacea purpurea, and I'm also sowing one called White Swan. And White Swan's just this sort of brilliant white daisy-like flower with obviously the big cone in the middle. So I am taking a risk with the Echinacea because they should have been sown in February for the best chance of them flowering in their first year. But you know, this could be a long-term project. If I don't get flowers this year, then I'll get flowers in future years. These are hardy perennials, so they'll just stay in the ground all year long. I'm going to sow mine onto the surface of the compost. They need light to germinate, so I will only cover them with a light sprinkling of vermiculite, and they should take between 5 and 10 days to germinate, and they'll need between 20 and 24 degrees. So again, I'm going to put these on the heat mat. If they don't germinate after a while, then I will cold stratify them and put them in my fridge for a few weeks and then take them out again and put them somewhere warm, and hopefully then they will germinate. But I'm really hoping I'm going to have some good success with the Echinacea and they will just germinate for me. It's wishful thinking. Then I'm going to sow some Rudbeckia. This is a perfect time between February and April to sow Rudbeckia. Rudbeckia are also called coneflowers or Gloriosa daisies or Black Eye Susan. They have various different names. But these are shorter versions, I would say, of Echinacea because they're only going to grow to about 60 centimeters tall. I do still think that they're really gorgeous plants to have, and again, I think these are going to look really nice dotted amongst the grasses in my grass border, but they go really well with dahlias and things like that that are later season as well. So I'm sowing 2 different varieties. The first one is called Irish Eyes. Irish Eyes is a gorgeous yellow Rudbeckia with this lovely olivey green centre to it. And that's why I've chosen this one, because it doesn't have the typical dark chocolatey coloured centre. And I think this one's really pretty. Then I'm saying Sahara, which is a very popular mix. They are semi-double or double flowering varieties with very velvety petals. And they come in these gorgeous colours of coppery, pink and caramel. And I think they are also super pretty. It's a very soft, gentle coloured Rudbeckia. So with the Rudbeckia, I'm going to sow them on the surface of the compost, cover them with a thin layer of vermiculite. They may need cold stratification in order to germinate. Hopefully they won't. And I should have flowers in about 100 to 120 days. So by mid-July, I should have flowers. And these hopefully would germinate in 5 to 10 days. And then the last thing I'm sowing today is some Yarrow or Achillea. A lot of people call it Yarrow. I think it's easier to say than Achillea, but I just know it as Achillea. And these are gorgeous umbellifer flowers that come in various different shades. I am sowing 2 millefoliums, which is the common yarrow. The first one I'm sowing is called Cerise Queen, which has got these really attractive dark cherry red flowers. And the second one I'm sowing is called Summer Berries, which is this gorgeous cheerful mix of reds and pinks and apricots and corals. And then I'm sowing an Alchilia alpina called Love Parade, and this is a Siberian yarrow, and I think it was developed or bred in Russia, and it's got gorgeous soft pink flowers with yellow stamens. So yarrow can be sown between February and May. It's going to need 18 to 25 degrees to germinate, so these will also be on a heat mat, but it's not strictly necessary if your room's warm enough. And they're going to take between 5 and 10 days to germinate. And then in about 120 to 130 days, we should have some flowers. So again, I'm hoping that by the end of July, August, these will be in flower. They may not flower the first year. I'm hoping that they will. So the other good thing to know about yarrow is that it's just going to keep blooming year after year, obviously, because it's a perennial. But if we continually divide them, or at least every 4 years, if we divide them every 4 years, then that will reinvigorate the plant, and then we'll get more flowers. And I do find with my yarrow in the garden that it does tend to fade, and so it is a really good idea to just dig it up, chop it in half or more, and spread it around. I use ordinary multi-purpose peat-free compost to sow my seeds, and I like to use these small 8-cell trays because that way I don't have to worry about having different seeds in the same tray and them germinating at different times. So I do really like to use these. I bottom water all my seeds so that I don't dislodge the seeds that I've carefully placed in the trays, and then I take them through to my grow room. So I'm going to take you through now and then show you the really exciting news that I've had on my germination. So I'm back in my seed starting room, and now I'm going to show you the super exciting news. I don't know why this has brought me so much joy, but I am absolutely over the moon. Hang on a second. These are Francoa seedlings, and I sowed these on the 8th of February. They are the most gorgeous perennial, and they've got these lovely pink spikes. This particular variety that has germinated in a month, it germinated in exactly a month, so it germinated by the 9th of March. This particular one is called Rogerson's Form. I mean, they are tiny, but look how many have germinated. Plus, I've got more exciting news. So this is Molly Anderson. It was sown on the same day. And I've got one here. Pretty sure I saw 3. I can't see 3 now, but there are at least 2. I don't have any pink giants yet. They haven't germinated. This is my Bupleurum griffithii, sown on the 22nd of February. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've got 8. Not all necessarily in every cell. Some cells have got doubles, but they've germinated well. This is my Gilia bird's eyes. Massive amounts of germination on this one. This is my Gilia capitata. And then these are all my Clarkia. These are the ungulata or elegans varieties. So these are the tall, spiky ones. And I've had really good germination on these. I have to thin these out as well, but I'll wait a bit until they're a little bit older. And then these are the ones I'm calling Gadisha. Clarkia memoria. This one is Grace Shell Pink, and this is Grace Salmon. I've had really good germination on those, and you can see how much I oversowed because I thought the seeds were too old. These are the larger flowers, not necessarily spikes, they're the more upward facing flowers. So this is the reason why I have resown my phlox. This is my phlox creme brulee. Yes, it needs thinning out, I will do that. But this is my phlox blushing bride, absolutely nothing. It's completely mad. So I'm resowing it. I don't know what happened there. And my seed isn't old, so I just don't get it. So I hope you think that was as fun as I do. I cannot believe how many of my Francoa have germinated. I was losing hope, you know, when you wait a month for something to germinate. And I know that, you know, we should expect that with some, especially with perennials, but a lot of my other perennials haven't germinated yet. Still don't have a single clematis, but I live in hope. Now that the Francoa has germinated, I am more hopeful about the others. I really hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, then do give it a like because it really does help me. If you want to see more videos like this, then hit the subscribe button because I will show you how all these wonderful plants look in my garden over the coming months and years. And I've got so many more exciting things to be doing, so I would love to have you along for my journey. Anyway, thank you so much for watching today, and I'll see you all next time.